this was shocking to me when it was announced that the Trump White House ordered its own education department to instruct all of the servicers to extend borrowers' recertification dates to no sooner than February 2026. Now, let's think about that for a moment, because this is the most liberal action or progressive action that the Trump White House has done, I think, period, so far in the second administration. And what do I mean by that? Well, it's no secret that the Biden administration just kept pushing and pushing and pushing IDR recertification dates, frankly, because they did not want people's payments to go way up right before an election, or perhaps that was the way they viewed that they could push off people having to make payments that would almost be a backdoor way of canceling student debt. So there was like a very honest ideological reason why the Biden administration didn't want to have an IDR recertification, and there was a political reason too. Now, for the Trump administration, what they are doing by pushing off recertification dates is costing the Treasury Department a ton of revenue. And I guess technically it's costing the government, not the Treasury Department, but it's costing the government a ton of revenue, because what you're doing is saying, if somebody's got the pay-as-you-earn plan, if they've got some IDR repayment plan with a $0 payment or a low payment that would be much higher if the recertifications were actually due, those recertification dates getting pushed off means that the government is not getting all of those payments, and people are still getting forgiveness credit in some cases. Now, for people in the SAVE plan forbearance, you're obviously not getting forgiveness credit. But in the SAVE forbearance, you are getting an interest subsidy until that ends. And that is literally, at least by my calculations, at least $1 billion a month in costs, which for the government is no big deal, because that's a pretty small amount of money in the grand scheme of the federal government. But you've got about 8 or 9 million borrowers on the SAVE forbearance. The student loan pause was costing about $5 billion a month, and there's about 40-something million borrowers. So if you do the math, it's reasonable to assume that the cost of the SAVE plan forbearance and just the interest subsidy part is somewhere in the neighborhood of $1 billion a month. And by extending that IDR recertification date, that probably costs, my guess would be at least $1 billion of additional money, because so many people have not recertified in a long time for their IDR repayment.